Welcome back to the Superdome with more EA Sports Supercross. Title contenders right next to each other here in our first qualifying heat of the 125s. Stephane RONCADA, number 26, a three-time winner, and then number 199. You see him right there, Travis Pastrana, a two-time winner. Pastrana has won his qualifying heats in the previous two wins. RONCADA did not win his qualifying heat in the three wins. They're off and going. Jessel at number 44. He's on the Bills Pipe Suzuki. They just signed for another year of support team action with Suzuki, bar to bar with Travis Pastrana.
And Travis, a great friend of Jessamine, just reaches over and gives him the thumbs up in the air off the triple.
Both very good friends throughout the amateur ranks. They both root for each other, but right now, Travis Pastrana wants to take over in the whoops. Remember, the first 9 qualify in each of the 125 qualifying heats. And then they'll pick 4 out of the last chance qualifier. We have a 22-rider gate in the 125s.
I'll tell you what, look at that triple. These guys out of the corner right there before the finish, the 125's having a really hard time getting over all 3 of those. Travis does it almost perfect.
And in 10th position is Stephane RONCADA.
Now he's going to have to improve that start dramatically to even have a chance to run with the leaders. Because this track, it's very hard packed, and if you slip outside of that groove, you start getting into some dirt clods and slide all around. Very difficult to make up any time.
Only once I can remember a rider going to the LCQ and then winning the main event, and that was right here, Ricky Carmichael, in the 125s.
Well, you know Travis is relaxed when he can look over it in the middle of a race in the opening lap and give his best friend in the air the thumbs up. I'll tell you what, in practice, though, Travis came up short on a triple that he's coming around to here in a moment. Hurt his right hand again, was icing it when I was over there talking with DeCoster after the practices. This is the triple he's approaching right now. See that last little bump he's got to hit before the triple. It slows all that momentum down. You've really got to use everything that motor's got, plus your body, to get over it clean.
And here's Stephane RONCADA trying to weed his way up through the many riders in front of him. His first initial rider that he's trying to zero in on is Paul Curry, number 38, a Privateer Honda, and he zips right by that Honda. RONCADA very fast. We'll see what he's made of here, David.
He's got a lot of work to do.
Number 199 is starting to lap all kinds of riders way out in front. Travis Pastrana wants that championship. He's only 4 points in back of Broc Sellards. And if this is any indication what the main event's going to look like, he could probably take over the points lead at the end of the evening, maybe. Let's go down to Davey for his observation. Davey.
Well, this is actually quite a surprise to see Travis riding this on. I'll tell you why. He had his thumb in an ice bucket all day. He tried to jump a triple jump in second gear, came up short. It looked for a second like he may have broken something. Turns out it strobed really bad. He told me it hurt a lot worse than he was letting on. But as you can see, maybe he was teasing me.
After 2 fourths and a 5th coming from a 19th place start, he put himself into the championship picture. Back-to-back wins, Daytona, St. Louis, then into second at the second race at Pontiac. And he doesn't seem to let those injuries or those little dings bother him, David.
That's what I love about this kid. It's like he's coming from that school of thought, I ain't got time to bleed. I got a race to win. And he proved that in Daytona. He had a mild concussion when he crashed there. But he's just awesome. Think about how your hand is feeling when you're just pounding through that whoop section. That's where he made his pass for the lead in a place where it would hurt your hand the most. So he's not affected by injuries until it's all said and done. Has to go for the double right there because of a rider in front of him. Didn't want to take the chance. He's shaking his head going, get out of the way.
Pastrana, Evans, Jessamine, Clark, and Aloff, the top 5, with RONCADA in 6th. The checkers. And the trick from Travis Pastrana. Made it look like a walk in the park.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of that is from the start. Look at RONCADA still in a battle right here.
With Ryan Clark.
We don't want to be mixed up in the middle of the pack. That's not a good way to start the evening.
RONCADA makes the top 5 anyway in the 5th position as he takes off his goggles and is probably extremely disappointed on a very slow start out of the gate. So our wrenchhead.com. EA Sports results page, Pastrana, Evans, Jessamine, Clark, and Roncada, the top 5. Then it would be Alof, Skaggs, Karsten, and Carpenter making the main event in the top 9. Let's go down to Davey Coombs.
Travis, I thought you said your thumb was hurt. You look great out there.
Well, thanks a lot. I came up short on triple in practice. My wrist is pretty sore, but feeling great. My RM Suzuki is just running so fast out there. Hopefully I can put it back on the podium for the main.
I know that it's been a long season. It's starting to wind down. Are you starting to think about your first championship, or is this all just, hey, having fun?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the championship means the world to me, but just even if I end up third out of the 3 of us that are battling back and forth, it's still a great year for me. So, you know, I'd love to win the championship, but if I go out and have fun, ride like I know how to, I think I have a chance.
Good luck at the main, Travis.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Davey.
It's been the most competitive 125 season of all time. We've had 8 different winners throughout the 125 ranks, but not number 18, the points leader in the East, Broc Sellards, and not the defending champion, Ernesto Fonseca, number 1. Hey, we billed this at the beginning of the year, the East division, as a matchup between Fonseca, the defending champion, and number 24, Nathan Ramsey, who was running the East division after winning the West last year, David.
They've definitely had their problems, and sign is going sideways. It'll be Nathan's chance to get back into the mix.
Second qualifying heat, 125's underway. Cutting it across, first of all, to Sellards. The Bulldog is out in front. Fonseca's right there, however. Along with Charlie Bogard, number 144. And then Nick Way, who's had a fine season on the Kawasaki number 23. Right now, Fonseca makes the move and hops back in front of Sellards.
Had to take a little bit of a risk to do that in order to jump off the top of that plateau. Over the jump he cleared. Wasn't able to clear it completely. Be easy to do an Indo right there if you don't get the rear wheel high enough over the top.
It's important for Fonseca to look strong early, and you said he had a good practice session.
I like the way he attacked the track this afternoon, and I think he feels a lot like Kevin Windham did in the 250 class this year until he got that win last week. Like, hey, it's about time to get things rolling before the series is over with. He's definitely got the talent to win.
Fonseca with Sellards right behind him, and then Bogard. Bogard has not had many races this year, but he's looked strong in his comeback efforts. He's quick, and Nick Way is right behind him.
See Ramsey just at the tail end of this battle, number 24, Way's teammate. He's able to watch these top 4 guys, see the lines they're taking, see the block pass opportunities you saw right there.
Here comes Ramsey in the whoop section. Can he get in front of Bogard? No. There's Ramsey, number 24. Way is right in front of him, his Pro Circuit teammate. And there's Way taking on Bogard. Bogard looks to the side. Oh, that's a good battle.
Yeah, that's the corner where I expected to see a lot of block passing. Bogard thought about it there again, but he knew that it would have slowed them both down. He wouldn't be able to clear that double jump there.
Nick Way out of Michigan looks back.
Yeah, these guys are so concerned with themselves. Now you got Sellards able to ride more offensive, not have to worry about these guys sticking a wheel in, and he's closed in on the leader.
Way has not finished out of the top 5 this year, but he's 4th in points, only 18 points off the lead. Incredible season, but with a guy like Broc Sellards out in front and Pastrana and Roncada, oh, it's a tough division. The battle is underway. Fonseca is leading, number 18 on the FMF Honda, and that's Broc Sellards. Fonseca with 1 podium this year. That was a 3rd place in the first race at Pontiac. Otherwise, he's got 2 4th places, a 6th, a 7th, and an 8th. And here's number 23, Nick Way. It wouldn't surprise me, David, the way Way has been running this year to give a good challenge to Broc Sellards for 2nd place.
He's the kind of guy that'll stick his wheel in this corner right here before the finish, too, that final lap. He's not afraid to get in there and knock somebody down in order to take the position.
He's coming off the 3rd podium of the year at Pontiac, and the white flag is out. We're in our final lap of action here for the 125 qualifier.
So far, Fonseca hasn't made a mistake, and that's what it's going to take for Sellards to get around. That time, Sellards wasn't able to do the triple. Fonseca pulled away a little bit more, and he'll need that this final lap. A couple of open corners were great opportunities for block passing, but with the cushion he has here, he can still afford to go wide.
Last year, in winning the championship, he won 6 out of the 7 regular season races and got good starts early in the season. A lot of hole shots. He only had 2 hole shots this year, and it's hurt his cause. Broc Sellards in second place.
Well, Sellards lost time off the triple. Way lost time in the whoop, so they're pretty spread out now.
We got Fonseca, Sellards, Way, Ramsey, Bogard, Kelly Smith, Jimmy Wilson, Thomas, and Mason. The checkers fly for Fonseca.
These guys are all pushing each other to their max, riding hard. The track is a little tackier right now, but they were still 2 seconds slower than the lap times of Pastrana in Heat 1.
That's amazing. As we take a look at the wrenchhead.com EA Sports Supercross results page, Fonseca, Sellards, Way 1, 2, and 3, with Ramsey, a good performance in his first race coming off the injured list. Charlie Bogard in 5th position. Then it's Smith, Wilson, Thomas, and Mason making the main event.
Ernesto, it's about time. That's what we've been waiting for.
I know it feels great to be here on the podium, and the track's really good. My bike's working really good, and I got a really good start. I was staying loose, and I think that's what I need. I need a little bit of confidence, and hopefully I can run with these guys in the main.
This is the spot. If your last Wayne event win, you won the championship here last year.
Yeah, I think it feels great to be here on the podium, and I think tonight's the night. I feel really good. Everything is clicking. No arm bump, no nothing, and I think it's about time for me to get back on the podium.
Okay, good luck at the main, Ernesto.
Good luck.
David Bailey, after noting the 125 heat races, we got a new guy in the mix, really. We've talked a lot about the 3 championship contenders, but the defending champ got in the scene.
Ernesto Fonseca definitely showed up here in the Superdome, ready to roll. Last year he had a great year here. He wrapped up the title. He's obviously comfortable, and the way he won that heat race, he is definitely on pace. Of course, Pastrana and Sellards having great rides in their heat races, but I'll tell you what, don't be fooled by Roncada. He got a bad start. He worked his way through the pack. I still have a feeling he's the fastest rider on the track. He was in practice. He didn't get a chance to show it in that heat race.
And remember, I said earlier that in all of his wins, the 3 previous wins, he has never won a qualifying round before those 3 wins. So don't count him out. You're right, David. Let's check out the Dunlop 125 results page as you see how close it really is. Roncada 3 points in back of Sellards, but he's got an awful gate position. Pastrana 4 points back. Way is not that far back in 4th, 18 points behind the leader Sellards. All 3 of these guys within 4 points of one another, and they're all very confident about winning the championship.
I've been working really hard at whoops and just putting in a lot of laps at Carmichael's house, and I've had a couple areas I was struggling in. I think I pretty much took care of them, so hopefully I'll come out this weekend going pretty fast. My strategy pretty much the same as since the beginning, just trying to stay smoother now than I did the first couple races, but just to go out there, have a good time. When I'm having fun, I ride well. When I start thinking about the championship, I start riding tighter and not as well, even in practice. So if I can just go out there, keep riding the same, and not really even think about it, I think that's going to be my advantage. Maybe these guys, might take it a little bit more seriously and start tightening up. I'm hoping that anyway.
I won more races. Sellards didn't win races this year, so I think that's a good advantage for me. I won 3 races so far, and I think he knows I feel pretty good about tonight, and that I can win again.
The lineup sheet brought to you by Suzuki for the 125s. Ernesto Fonseca, Travis Pastrana, Broc Sellards, Tyler Evans, Nicholas Way, and a whole lot. Nathan Ramsey as well. A former champion last year, actually, of the 125 West. And how are they lined up, David?
Well, all the good guys are over there to the right side. See Sellards second from that inside box next to the KTM factory rider Olaf. Can you move over 3 more spots? You got Fonseca, right there he is.
Number 1, Fonseca.
And then Pastrana, 199, and he's got Way, Roncada. Roncada didn't get a bad pick like he thought he would. He was 10th pick to the gate, came out in pretty good shape.
So Roncada gets a break. Let's see, though, who will get the Yahoo.com whole shot. The board is sideways. We're ready to go for the main event from the Superdome. Jessamine, number 44. Oh, and look at there. Fonseca goes down in the corner.
Golden opportunity, a great start. It's over now. Having to come from last, Art.
Brandon Jessamine certainly does get the good starts, David. And right behind him is Broc Sellards, Nick Way.
You see Fonseca just going by their picture in the air. He looked over to see who was in the lead, so he knows sometimes other guys had to get bad starts, and that wouldn't be too bad for him to be that far back. But here he's got a lot of work to do.
Just as those two exit, let's take another look.
Well, Jessamine controls the corner. You see, oh, that's what happened.
Travis Pastrana clicked wheels with him.
He went into the section so fast, he bumped the back of Fonseca. Fonseca right there having to use so much energy to get the bike back underway. What a great opportunity right here for Sellards now.
And Roncada is moving up as well. We've got Jessamine, number 44. Broc Sellards, the points leader, without a victory on the season, in second place. Nick Way, who's run very well, in third place.
If I was Sellards, I'm trying to get into that lead right now. T-bone the guy. Do whatever you got to do. Get into the lead while Roncada and Travis are buried in the pack. If they're able to work their way up quick, which they usually do, they'll see Sellards and stay in contact with him. He's got to get out front and disappear right now.
Sellards in good position behind the leader, while Pastrana is in 10th. Very impressed with Brandon Jessamine. He got a second place start in St. Louis.
Look at Pastrana working his way through traffic. He's coming to the outside, trying to square this corner. He's not able to do that triple, though. Gets pinched off right there. The frustration of knowing you can run 2 or 3 seconds faster a lap than the guys in front of you, but you got to ride their pace.
Hard getting around Matt Shue, number 201. But he finally does and takes on the next. Look how close that traffic is. That's going to hold him up and give a great break to Broc Sellards.
That could have been a disaster right there.
Look at Roncada. You see Roncada now in a bar-to-bar battle in the whoops. Number 26, Yamaha of Troy.
And he's faster through that whoop section, not having to fuss with that rut down the middle. Just pin it through the whoops like they were doing in practice. He's in contention. He looks over right there, sees Jessamine. He sees the pressure that Sellards is starting to put on. He knows he's got to get up there quick, because if Sellards can get around, I have a feeling he can pull away.
Roncada is the only 3-time winner in the 125s. And here's Jessamine, our leader, number 44.
You're right, Art. He is putting in a fine race so far. The start always makes a huge difference. He's able to ride the pace that he's capable of. Usually he gets buried in that pack or makes a mistake when he gets a start like this.
Sellards got a mouthful of rocks and dirt, but he comes on to the whoop section on Jessamine. Broc Sellards takes the lead for the 3rd time this year. Nice move, nice timing by Sellards.
Excellent timing. While he's leading it, Travis Pastrana is in 6th. And Roncada is having a tough time getting around Nick Way behind him.
This has not been one of Sellards' favorite tracks at all. He DNF'd here last year after crashing. And in 1998, he went from 3rd to 13th with a crash in the 4th lap and ended up 9th. We'll see if he can hold on here. Jessamine in 2nd place, Roncada in 3rd. And the very quick Travis Pastrana trying to still get up into a contending spot. Jessamine, as Sellards starts pulling away.
He's got to try to hang on. He's got Roncada coming up behind him now. Roncada over the triple right there. Dangerously close to the leader, Sellards. I can't believe how much time he's been able to make up.
Well, Jessamine on the Bills Pipe Suzuki now is trying to hold on and get his best finish of the year. His best finish to date, 5th place at St. Louis. And the battle for Travis Pastrana is a never-ending one right now. It's coming up on Ryan Clark.
Just as he approaches that triple, Sellards is going the other way. He's got all those guys in his sights on the other straightaway, and then as they come back, they can see each other again. Really not much of a need for a signal board out here. And
so it's a couple of Suzukis, but Clark is not giving way. Here comes Pastrana.
Oh.
And there's Jessamine off the track.
That's what has been happening to him all year. Little mistakes like that. When he has a great opportunity to podium and build some confidence, it's a mistake that keeps him from getting up there, or a bad start to begin with.
And we've got the battle on between two contenders. Broc Sellards, the points leader, who leads Stephane RONCADA by 3 points. RONCADA cuts to the inside without any contact and easily gets into first place. That's the 3 points made up if they stay this way.
Sellards is going to have to fight right here. He's got a good start. He's got to look at RONCADA. He can study his lines and try to retaliate. Here's a section where RONCADA's pulling away. Sellards should make note and start using that line.
Taking another look, David.
Oh, look at that. He just stays lower off the jump, gets down to the inside. Sellards didn't have any idea he was that close. Otherwise, he wouldn't left the door that far open. And RONCADA, the way he's been riding, should be able to pull away unless Sellards is able to reach back and dig deep.
On that low jump, it looked like he was watching a highlight film of Jeremy McGrath with the techniques that Jeremy brought over from BMX and keeping low on the jump. Here's Pastrana taking on Nick Way. Number 199 moves up another notch into third.
That's a podium for him, but that's not going to be good enough. Way had a chance right there to really affect the outcome of this series, but I think he decided, nah, that wouldn't be right. He would have had to make that a little bit of a dirty move to make it stick.
So RONCADA, who's second in points, is our leader. Sellards, who's the points leader, in second, and Pastrana is in third.
You can see Pastrana in that last shot there. He's taking the same line Sellards was at the approach to the triple. And that's where RONCADA is going wide, jumping up on that plateau and scooting off. He's making up 5 or 6 bike links there every lap, and Sellards didn't change to use that line.
Sellards, and look at Pastrana. He had trouble coming through the whoops a little bit. No, that was a lapper. My correction. Here's
if Pastrana can get close to these guys, if he can in fact catch RONCADA out front. I don't know if there's enough time. RONCADA's got a big lead, but he is so fast in the whoops. Pastrana is. He goes in wide open and just keeps his fingers crossed. So far, it's working. This is the section where RONCADA makes up all of his time. Jumps up on that plateau, and the only way to get off over the next jump is to grip that bike like a vice grip and lift it up in the air. The way these guys can practice that is they wheelie on flat ground and try to lift the rear wheel off the ground. That's basically what they're doing.
This year, RONCADA has not been known for giving up leads, David. Once he's out there, he's been pretty cool.
Now he looks good. He was worried in practice about this whoop section right here. He said ever since he crashed in practice in Atlanta, by attacking it, starting in with a lot of momentum and crash hard, he's been a little bit shy about doing it. I said, you know what? Big deal. Give up a bike link there and just race him on the rest of the track. He goes, you know what? Nowadays, you can't give up that bike link. You can never get it back. But the way he's riding right now, I think he can.
Stephane RONCADA, extremely fast through the corners, David. And that's his plus point.
He's been fast everywhere. He and Fonseca both looked outstanding in practice this afternoon. And unfortunately for his teammate Fonseca, who's about to lap, he went down.
Stephane RONCADA is looking for his 4th win on the 125 season. He's the only 3-time winner coming into this race. Fonseca's in back of him. He just lapped his teammate and defending champion not long ago. But Travis Pastrana is really putting on the steam behind, and Broc Sellards is back there as well. So the 3 contending points leaders are right where we predicted they probably would be. The rigors of a war like this. And take a look at this. Tyler Evans, number 45. It looks like a flag football game that he lost. Somebody grabbed his shirt instead of the flag, but he had a treacherous move earlier in the race and is back up and moving.
That must feel pretty weird. I thought he was dropping out of the race a little earlier. I saw him standing at the side of the track, but he was back out there, flapping in the breeze. Travis is turning 52nd lap times, the same as the leader, RONCADA, right now. And the story there is that the guy between them, Sellards, is running 51.5. So the chance for Pastrana to move up 1 notch or at least make a race of it is a real possibility. But as far as catching this guy, I don't think so.
RONCADA, you saw him getting around Tyler Evans. RONCADA, in the Pontiac win, his first, led the last, well, he led all 15 laps, was never bested. In his win the next race at Atlanta, he led the last 12, not giving up the lead. And in the win in the second Pontiac race, the last 125 East race, he led the last 10 laps without giving up the lead. In all 3 of those races, David, he kept a wonderful pace out front while really not being tested at the end.
Well, he's doing it again here. And he was quick, he was aggressive, he took advantage of Sellards, who just was riding perhaps a little bit tense out front. Sellards been able to hang at this point.
That's right. He's in second place, and he's closed it a bit.
Slightly, but just not enough. So this is what Roncada's doing, similar to what McGrath does in the 250 class. You pull out to a lead, and you just ride the guy's pace behind you, and how's he ever going to catch you?
Broc Sellards holding on with second. This means it would be a tie in points if it finishes like this between the two. And there's Eric Kehoe, the team manager of Yamaha of Troy. What a successful program he's been able to put together in the last couple of years. We are on the white flag lap for Stephane RONCADA.
This race feels like it went by quick, and I guarantee you the happiest guy about that is Roncada right now. Sellards done a good job to hang on to second and put a couple of points on Pastrana, but this is still anybody's championship in the next round if they stay where they are.
A win for number 26 would assure him of being the winningest 125 rider in the year 2000.
Sellards is closing. Not going to be enough, but he's really having to double that triple right there. Just
Sellards, you noticed looking back on that shot, David. And here's number 26. The checkers for Stephane RONCADA. Win number 7 on his career. His 4th victory of this season. And he runs into a tie for the points lead with this victory.
A high five right there from Pastrana. You saw Pastrana right over the finish and shake his head. He knew in that first corner that the race was decided right there for himself and also Fonseca.
A happy Eric Kehoe in that picture now as Fonseca comes up behind Roncada. You know, Roncada's been carrying the Yamaha of Troy flag all the way. His wins. Casey Johnson was injured earlier in the year, has not participated. Ernesto Fonseca only has 1 podium on the year, number 1 there in the picture. But number 26 has been the real brightness on that Yamaha of Troy can.
4 wins now. He is the dominant guy. Although all these guys believe they can win this championship, I think he's got to have the most confidence of the 3 right now going into the final round. But as Davey Coombs pointed out a little while back, the venue for the next race, the final round of this championship, is going to be an interesting configuration of racetrack. It looks like they're going to have long straightaways full of jumps, timing, and rhythm sections, which should be to the advantage of Pastrana. He's going to need it.
The young Frenchman couldn't be happier right now as you see the emotion that victory brings. Let's go down to Davey Coombs.
What a great win, Stephen. The pressure is on the line, and you just stepped up. You got your 4th main event win of the year, and I think that you're right there in the points now. It's going to be all or nothing in Chicago.
You know what? I think Broc and I are tied in the points, so there's going to be a lot of block passing in Chicago. I think it's great for me. You know, I was pretty far back a couple races ago, and I come back really strong, and I'm so happy right now. It's great.
All weekend long here in New Orleans, you've just seemed like you brought your A game. You're in a good mood. You seem real comfortable. Can you keep that going into Chicago?
Definitely. You know, I think that's because of that I won tonight. I decided to come to that race as relaxed as I could be and not worry about anything. I went to the restaurant between the practice to eat a salmon. And I'm just trying to get the pressure out of myself, and it worked out great for me tonight. You know, Broc was in the lead, and I was like, I gotta catch that guy right now. And I did everything I had. You know, I want to thank my trainer for that, Alan Gorky. He's doing a great job for me, and all my teams, Eric Kehoe, Phil Adato, and Yamaha of Troy, Fox, Oakley, Dunlop, Osiris, and Mark Peter, so the sick track he builds in my backyard. All those guys that helps me out. Thank you.
Great job tonight.
Thanks a lot, Davey.
Well, this young fan probably agrees with Travis Pastrana right about now, as Pastrana calls Roncada the fastest rider in the division. He certainly doesn't give up leads, as we see here on the Suzuki results page. Roncada and Sellards 1 and 2, with Travis Pastrana fighting back for a 3rd place finish. Nick Way in 4th. It was a masterful job by Roncada, keeping those times up and staying out in front. How does this affect the points now as we take a look at the 125 East Dunlop points page? Roncada and Sellards are tied at the top going into the final race in the 125 East. And that race, of course, coming up in Chicago. Pastrana only 6 points back. Anything can happen in that last race.